YouTube, what is going on? It is that NBA guy Josh. Today is July 17th, 2015, and the topic of this video is a kind of late reaction. It happened last week or 2 weeks ago, but DeAndre Jordan going to the Los Angeles Clippers and kind of breaking the handshake agreement that he had with the Dallas Mavericks and Mark Cuban and the whole fiasco. I'm going to give my 2 cents on the matter, let you know what I think, and let you know how this completely could have been avoided. Now, as you guys know, DeAndre Jordan went from the Los Angeles Clippers. He went to a couple teams. He met with the Knicks, he met with the Lakers, he met with the Rockets, I believe. And, he ended up choosing the Dallas Mavericks. 4 years, $80 million. That's the contract that they offered him. That's the contract that he agreed to with the franchise and Mark Cuban. All of a sudden, of course, the NBA has its memorandum or morandum, whatever they want to call it, moratorium. I don't know, whatever they want to call it. Who cares? But there's a 7-day window where they can agree to it, and then they have to sign it. So after July 1st, teams can start talking. On July 8th is the deadline of the no signing period, and then they can go ahead and sign those contracts. So usually on the first day of free agency, the player will tell you where he's going, and then on the 8th, that's when they can sign it. Obviously, teams want to lock them up as soon as possible for the reason of DeAndre Jordan. He agreed with them on July 1st or July 2nd. It came out that he was going to go and be a Dallas Maverick and leave behind Chris Paul and Blake Griffin and what they've started and been maintaining in Los Angeles to go with Dirk and Mark Cuban down in Dallas. So basically, DeAndre Jordan agreed, handshook deal. 4 years, $80 million. Mark Cuban was all excited about it, and the whole time. And you can watch the previous video that I made about this that is saying, that he went to Dallas and how he was stupid for doing that. He finally realized that, all right? I told you guys this would happen. Well, I didn't say it would happen. I didn't think he would actually go back on his word, but I told you it was stupid, and he finally realized this. Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, J.J. Redick, and Steve Ballmer all flew down to his house in Houston. He's from Houston, Texas. So they went down to his house in Houston, Texas, and met up with him, basically... held him hostage and wouldn't let him leave his house until he signed that contract at midnight or 12:01 on the 8th of July. So he's actually getting more money over this 4-year deal. He's getting $8 million more. 10% more he's getting from the Clippers over the Mavericks because they held the rights to him. Because he was a free agent before coming there. So they held him hostage, and there was this big thing. Mark Cuban's driving all around Dallas, or Houston rather, looking for DeAndre Jordan's house. Couldn't find it. No one's answering their phone, which is really just bad etiquette, if you ask me. Like, you should always, don't avoid people's phone calls. It's like almost like you're in middle school, except it wasn't cool in middle school to do that either. So, basically, avoided all his calls, signed with the Clippers. Everyone came down. Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, this, that, and the other. So he signed the contract. They left, and then he just didn't return any of Chandler Parsons or Mark Cuban's texts, and it became public. And, I think it's absolutely crazy. DeAndre Jordan, come on, man. First off, obviously, the only reason that you wanted to leave the Clippers, and let's be honest here, is because you had a beef with Chris Paul. You had a beef that he's not passing you the ball enough, that you're not an integral part of their offense, which you are, but I know that that's your argument, that you're not a part of the offense, that, during timeouts, Chris Paul doesn't high-five you. If you, the part about being a leader in the NBA is you have to take it upon yourself to make that step. If you want to be a leader of an NBA franchise, which obviously you do because you loved Dallas's pitch on how you would be a first or second option. It would be your team pretty much. You're the big man. You're the dominant big man. So you obviously wanted to be a leader, or else you thought you did. Maybe that's another reason. He didn't want to be a leader in Dallas. He just wants to kind of be the third wheel, even though he doesn't want to be the third wheel, which doesn't make sense to me, but maybe it makes sense to him. So, basically, he needs to, think about, you know, why he did such vast decisions. So basically, the only reason he left is because Chris Paul, he had beef with him, blah, blah, blah. So you go to another team. I mean, you and Blake Griffin are like best friends. Chris Paul, he's just pushing you because he wants the best out of you and his team. You know, his window of opportunity is closing. And then you go to Dallas and you realize, you know what? And then Chris Paul came down and probably hashed it out with him. They hashed out their beef, and he just shuns Mark Cuban and goes back to Los Angeles. All you got to do is talk to Chris Paul beforehand and say, why do you do this? You know, why you know, this is what makes me mad, even though it shouldn't make you mad. It's just basketball. You know, you could be friends off the court or not friends off the court, but you're teammates. And that's kind of something you should know if after, you know, a couple of years in the NBA that, you know, you're trying to win a championship here, man. You're not trying to be best friends with all your teammates. You know, usually, you know, guys that are at that elite level, I'm not saying Chris Paul is at the elite level in terms of like long-term, you know, he's not an NBA legend of all time. He's good, but he's not LeBron or he's not, you know, Michael or something like that, you know. But guys at that level, they, you know, they kind of put the friendships aside. You don't see Jordan in any video joking around and stuff like that during the finals. He is focused. You see LeBron doing the same thing. You see, you know, Jason Kidd when he was a point guard in the league. You know, you saw him doing the same thing. He's not joking around. He's about his business, as you should be. So, you know, Chris Paul is the same way. So DeAndre Jordan can't really take offense to that unless he just doesn't know the history of the game or doesn't know. I don't know, man. But, you know, I'm pretty sure that was the reason. Thank God he made the right decision and went back to the Clippers because they have he has a much better chance of going to the NBA Finals and winning a championship with the Clippers rather than the, you know, the Mavericks. Excuse me. You know, honestly, I don't think the Clippers have a shot at winning anything because, you know, you have to get past Golden State and you also have to get past San Antonio, which there is no way in hell that they are getting past the San Antonio Spurs with the roster they've put together this year. Added David West and LaMarcus Aldridge. Wow. What a, you know, two amazing pickups. They're going to be fantastic next year. You wait and see. What do you guys think about DeAndre Jordan coming, well, not coming back here, but going back to the Clippers? You know, telling Mark Cuban and Co. and Chandler Parsons and all them just, you know, get out of my way and going back to the Clippers. What do you guys think? Drop it in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And hope you guys have been liking the fact I've been making a lot more videos. I'm going to keep trying to make it up, keep it up. And you guys be good, all right? Talk to you soon. Peace.